My name is Mehran Tawakkali KESHE. I'm the director of the KESHE Foundation. KESHE Foundation is a spaceship program which is involved in plasma technology, and it has proven through different aspects of its development that energy and motion can be made from plasma in a very simple way. For years, we've been asked how we have developed and taken our technology in plasma technology, which is to do with gravitational magnetic field of a system, into the health section of the technology, and how we achieve so many different positive moves and changing diseases using the new plasma technology. For the first time, with this video, we open our doors to the world population to look and see how a simple technology has changed the life of a man. At the same time, with this video, we are releasing a paper for the first time from the health aspects of the technology of the foundation. And for the first time, we allow the world scientific and world population to have a glimpse into one of the most secret and guarded technologies of the KESHE Foundation. We are opening our doors in response to the peace talks which is taking place, and at the same time in showing that there is new development in health, in energy, and in space. So with this video, we would like to show how a life of a man who has been sentenced to death, literally by being told that he has a disease called ALS, and how he has changed his life using the system from March to September of 2013. Most of the videos you'll see is being made by him, and at the same time made during the processes we had with him during the system development. We see how a man who barely could walk, now he goes to work in Rome and in Milan, and at the same time he has been given a second chance. He's getting part of his movement back. ALS is a death sentence when it's given to you by a doctor. The only thing is, we do not know the time when it will be carried out. You end up being paralyzed, then you cannot speak, and usually followed by suffocation and death. For the first time, we have developed a technology to be able to monitor and reverse this process. This gentleman is very tied up with this disease. He cannot do much, but now he's getting control of his arm back, he's getting control of his feet back, he's getting control of his work, in a way being able to go to office back. He's joining the society in a slow but sure way. This video is to show now there is a solution for ALS. This is one of the final cases after we develop different systems for this disease and MS, and we can say with certainty there is a way out of this disease. We welcome anyone who would like to talk to us about this disease, be themselves being affected by it, or you're a member of an organization or association which is working with ALS, or you're a pharmaceutical, you want to develop this technology further for world population. Our doors are open, and we welcome you for cooperation. The same as we did for our energy and our space with governments, and the same as we did with our World Peace Treaty. If you want to contact us, please go to rls@keshefoundation.com, which we especially open this line for this disease. Fill in the form and we will respond. It is very easy. There should not be a death sentence once you are told you have ALS for majority of the ALS cases. We have not found the solution for all of the aspects on different types of ALS, but at least we have opened a doorway. We welcome any health authority or any government who would like to look into this development. Our doors are open to you. We are not hiding anything, the same as we did not do with our World Peace Treaty and with our energy and space technology. We have shared them with the world population. Now we are sharing our health directly with the world population. watch the video. I hope you enjoy and take pleasure as much as we did, seeing how the life of man has changed without even taking any medicine. Thank you. Today is the 8th of September 2013. We are in Rome, and the purpose of this recording is to show that the disease known as ALS, or known as asthma, can be stopped and reversed. Today, the gentleman with us is Mr. Max Hassan, who has been through this process since March of this year. And this gives us a springboard to bring this technology from the health aspects in respect to ALS into the mainstream medical applications for the foundation. I would like to ask if you want to introduce yourself, exactly who you are, how long you've had ALS, and the rest.
My name is Massimiliano Bassan, and I'm having the diagnosis of ALS I received 6 years ago. It was 2007, and I'm 44 now, years old. I was 38 when I received this bad news, and that's it.
And how was being your position before you started this process with the foundation?
The position was, I was closing, I was stopping my life more or less, so not willing to go out, not willing to meet people, so it was a total closure, so not only from the physical point of view but from the psychological point of view. So it was a kind of hopeless life, more or less, so without any big expectation for the future.
What was your condition when you started this position, physically and mentally?
Physically, let's say the biggest changes was from the physical side, psychological side. I was not accept. I was afraid. I was afraid to go out to live a normal life. So I believe that staying at home, I could something could have happened, and maybe to heal, to recover. But now I can say this was a bad thinking, because at the end the message was not of life, it was a message of death. We are close at home, not going out with family, sons and so on. And in the past, my physical condition was before, in the years, I mean. But from the psychological point of view, I was really, really close. This is completely changed now, so this is the biggest changes on the psychological point of view. The physicality The physicality, the first signal I had recently, the big signal 1 week ago. So apart of the walking that is improved since we met 5 months ago, the rest is coming now. So it's first the psychological point of view that is the most important, and then the physical now.
When is the last time you came to Rome, where you're going today?
I was here nearly 1 year ago. 1 year ago, and it was for job, so I had to come from some professional situation. And then, let's say, I had no plan to come here in the future. So the wish was, okay, maybe one day, but without really believing. So now I'm here because I'm here for no reason. So I'm here for a kind of holidays, let's put in this word, because I'm here because I want. So before I had to come for a reason. Now I'm here because I want. This is slightly different, but internally is a big thing.
When you were here last time, could you walk on your own, or?
No. Or maybe I could, but I didn't. So I was walking only hanging to the shoulder of my wife because I was completely insecure. I was afraid. At that time, 1 year ago, to go out was a pain. It was a pain. Not pain like physical pain, but it was really difficult. I was afraid to go outside for my condition. So a part was related to the risk to fall down, to hurt myself, but also the rest was to meet the people in this condition. So I felt really uncomfortable to go out.
You started the process in March.
Yes.
When we saw you in the first meeting, you could only walk with the help of your wife.
Yes,
holding up
yes.
your-
At that time, for me, it was unthinkable to walk alone outside. I was doing at home, but at home is easy. Outside, I really needed the support of my wife, to be sure.
Mhm.
So it was a kind of safe harbor for me.
But now?
Now it's she every time she offers me not the shoulder, the arm, but let's say I don't want. So I walk alone as much as I can. If I see any obstacle on the steps and so on, I'm not, let's say, stupid and don't want to fall down. So I ask for help. So only in the situation where I need it.
You work at home upstairs.
Yes.
On the second floor.
Yes.
How's there been a change there?
I have this stairs that is quite tough because the steps are high, and this is a kind of benchmark for me. That means I can measure my performance every day doing these steps. The situation in the years, so when I started to live in this house was okay, so I was able to do it without a problem. But every day was worsening the situation, so more difficult. In the last months, even after the treatment, I had a kind of, let's say, changes in the situation, so not improving. Recently, as you know, I had a kind of bad week where I reached the limit. That means nearly I was not able to do this on stairs. This was a kind of shock. I was afraid that day. But then I understood that it was only from the mental point of view. I was afraid. The week after, I mean the last week, I experience a completely new situation. That means every day, from Monday to Friday, I was stronger in lifting this hamster, but much stronger. And every day was better than the previous. This happened from Monday to Friday. This never happened in 6 years. Yes.
You have some control of your arms and dropping?
Yes, I started to have control on the right arm that presently I cannot lift, so I'm very weak. But let's say I started to have a very light control on the shoulder. That means it's not enough to move to rise, but if I'm lying on the bed with the arms, let's say on the high side, the left is falling down by gravity completely, so I cannot control. The right I can control a little bit, so I brake when it's falling down.
This you couldn't do before?
No. This I discovered by chance the same week of the legs, because I was expecting doing a movement, this arm falling down, and unconsciously I was controlling. So that's why I recognize there is something strange. It's not normal. And then after that day, this control stays, so it's still present. Some days is better, some days is, let's say, a little bit worse, but this control is present up to date.
And you're walking?
My walking?
The walk you do?
The walking is a tricky point, because I improved. I improved because 1 year ago I was walking only with my wife. Now I walk as much as I can alone, so I don't want a support. Some days I walk much better than others. I started to walk also on the ground, on the grass, difficult paths, and this has changed. The problem of walking is that for me it's so, let's say, minimal, the changes day by day, that it's difficult for me to recognize the changes. So the others told me, look, you are walking in a different way. So it was difficult for me to believe that I was walking a different way. But looking my first video and remembering how I was walking 1 year ago, I must say I'm walking a different way. So I compare to my previous situation when I was running, doing everything. So if you compare to this, you are a loser. But comparing to 1 year ago, now I'm walking. I don't have any big strength or big autonomy clearly, but the walking is different for sure, and it's better.
Your son made a comment about your walking.
Yes, my son, my small son. It was a day when I supposed to be tired, so weak and tired. So I was feeling myself bad. Going up from the car, normally when I sit for a long time I'm tired, and I started to walk, and I said, okay, I need some time to set up, And my son that was behind me said, and the sentence was like that, to be without muscles or to be an ill man, you walk fast. And I said, why? Why he said that? So for me, I was walking bad and slow. For my son, I was walking fast. And my son see me every day. So my feeling was wrong. That's why I said it's difficult. For the walking, the best feedback I received from the others, the people that was, let's say, looking at me maybe at distance of 1, 2, 3 weeks, 1 month. for me it was the same. The people was sometimes shocked, and I can't believe that everybody is lying to me, or so. That's why the changes were so small and gradual that sometimes for me it's difficult to believe. So I'm becoming used to the changes. But yes, 1 year ago I was working totally different than now.
Better? You start interacting with the society.
Yes.
Can you tell us more what's happening?
This was starting after April, May, couple of months. Yes, after the start of the treatment, and this was one of the most important changes and the first to come. So the psychological point of view, as I told you before, I was not simply willing to meet the people, friends, parents, or people that are part of our life simply because we have children to the school and so on. So there are other families. As I told you, I prefer to stay at home alone, and I feel safe. I am at home, I feel safe. And my family can go out, enjoy, and so on. But at the end, this was not. So
how long did you do this for?
Years.
What, 3-4 years?
Yes, around this. So I gradually closed any interaction activity because I felt uncomfortable doing this.
So what happened?
Then it happens that at the beginning was a kind of challenge, a big conflict inside. So I accepted to do something that I never did before. So to meet people that for years I refused to meet in a specific situation, parties or dinner or social events. The beginning was a big conflict. I do, I don't do, and so on, but I did it. Then continuing the treatment and passing the time, the wish to meet the people, to go out was stronger and stronger and stronger. So from one social activity became 2, 3, and 4. And if before it was a pain, a fear about the situation, about the others, at the end became normal. So the fear was much weaker compared to the wish to go out. And I reached the point this summer, so in August, that I met all these people without caring about what they could think about me and so on. This was.
Can you tell us the situations?
The situation was it was middle of August, Ferragosto in Italy, and they invited some janitors of school company of my son, invited us in countryside for a barbecue. Countryside for me means immediately difficulties, and also the house, to reach the house we have a very long stairs, I don't know, hundreds steps, so for me it's in this moment impossible. But nevertheless I said, okay, let's go, at least I will see the situation. So I said, first let's go there and then let's see what's happening. At the end it was a wonderful day, so I was able to work quite well despite the ground. It was not easy. We spent all the whole day between friends, eating, drinking, laughing, so it was a normal day, really a normal day. The children were playing, So I was really surprised. People doesn't care about me completely. So after let's say few minutes, I felt like normal, completely normal, despite all my difficulties.
Would you have done this last year?
No. All this, let's say, social situation, I had many since I started the treatment. I would have never done before.
You went to your son's christening?
Yes, yes.
And would you done that?
I avoided in the past all this situation, and an easy example, every Friday my sons in summertime go to this summer camp, and they organize every Friday at the end of the week a small spectacle for the parents, clearly. They are going there since 3 years minimum. I never attended to any of this one.
Because of your illness?
Yes, but the funny thing is that in the past my physical situation was much better than now, 2-3 years ago. But I didn't go. Now I went, this started in May. I attended all the spectacles and I'm still alive, I enjoy. And the funny thing is that my son again, the same, told me, why you didn't attend in the past? And I couldn't answer. Because he said, if you come now, that you are, let's say, not in a wonderful situation, why you didn't in the past? That you were much better. I had no answer.
When did you see the first change? From week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after you started?
I think after some weeks, let's say between two, in the first month, I started to see some psychological changes. Yes, 1 month more or less.
What do you think the future holds where you are now?
Let's say, first of all, I started again to think to the future, which is a good point. Looking at these changes, it seems to me that I started a new road that I cannot stop. So, trying to come back in the office, going out with friends and so on. I like it and I don't want to stop. So, my thinking now is that it was stupid, my behavior before. So I'm wondering why. I have an idea, but now it seems strange what I did in the past.
You went back to your office in Milan
Yes.
about 4 weeks ago.
Yes, 1 month ago exactly. This office I opened personally 15 years ago. Then we changed the building, but I never visited this office.
When was the last time you were there?
In this building, I never was there. I was in the previous building, but last time was 2008, I guess.
So
I stopped to go to the office of Milan also because I was working in Rome, so I stopped to go there. So it was a very long time. This was the new office opened 2 years ago, and I never been there. In August, it was beginning of August, I was back in Milano, meeting these guys and looking at the new office. It was very nice because let's say I left Milano many years ago. The strange thing is that I was there, even in the new office, the feeling was like if I was working there since ever. So I had no bad feeling. Oh my God, it's many years that I'm not here. The people is strange. I felt completely normal.
You're going back?
Yes, end of this month I already fixed, and every month I will go in Milan office.
Do you see you going back to work normal in the future now?
This is my target, absolutely.
So today you're going to see your colleagues more or less
Yes.
for the first time?
Yes, these colleagues in Rome, it's nearly 1 year. Yes, 1 year that I don't meet, and they don't know anything about this treatment I'm doing, so I keep reserved. Only 2-3 people knows, and they don't know even that I'm here in this moment. So we are going to the company, and it's totally will be shocking for many people. So I don't know the reaction. I don't know.
Are you coming back to work in Rome?
Yes, this is my target.
One of the things which is important to understand by the work of KESHE Foundation, we call ALS the death wish which comes true, which means that psychologically, through certain reasons, the individual sets off a certain kind of process which terminates the life. And this termination of life means they can escape from the problems of what they are facing. Some people choose hanging by suicide, some people choose different methods of ending life, but ALS in fact is the same process, but starts with a process of psychological double trigger, which we understand the process, and this psychological change, which then afterwards becomes the physical change, as we see the arm is coming back and the walking has changed, is the process of development of the psychological change in the understanding of there is no reason to take such a step. They literally trigger the death code in the brain, and the process, as we see with Mr. Sad, started literally 10 years ago. Is something which is not gradual. The first trigger comes in early stages of life, and the second trigger happens when the second crisis comes. And now we start understanding the process much better, and we see more or less the start of the reversal in living and physical disability changes. We have recorded the whole case from the beginning in so many steps. We see changes in walking, the drop foot has gone, the walking has changed, we see changes in the arm in small stages. So today we record the whole event as bystanders. We are not taking any steps. We've done the same thing in Milan.
Yes.
So we just, this is for archives, and at the same time to show to the ALS community that there is a solution. There is a new way to look at this disease, and nobody should die of this disease anymore. I thank you for your time, and I hope we'll see a nice day today.
I hope. This
Thank
is
you.
the target of today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Today is the 6th of October 2013. After the two surprise visits to my company, beginning of August in Milan office and beginning of September in Rome office, I did it again. second time, and in both cases it was in general much easier and much normal, the approach. So I had no big fears or big worry to go there, simply the pleasure to live, to go out and to meet the people, the others, my colleagues. And so this was very, very nice. And even coming back, the thinking was to the next appointment, next meeting. So I've decided with pleasure that, for example, I will go minimum once per month in the Milan office, if more, okay, and also periodically to the Rome office. In this case, the logistic is more difficult, so I have to organize better. But in general, I've noted that I'm thinking again in terms of future, not past or present situation. Altogether, this result, what I achieved in the last couple of months, for me was really unthinkable only 3 months ago, so I mean in June. This is unbelievable at this stage. Another nice discovery I made is that all this activity, what I did, what I'm doing, has an impact also on the others, for example on my colleagues. I've learned that at the end they don't care about my physical situation. They are of course ready to help me, they are sorry, but this is not the main point. They don't care about this. What is really important, it seems to be my presence there. So the fact that I move, I travel just to go there to meet them, and this is the important part, and it's different than what I thought, completely different. So this awareness helps me again, because this reduces a lot the psychological part of this illness. This illness is composed by two parts, main parts. One is physical, the daily difficulty to do things simply. The other part is psychological, and this is the driver of the illness, and we can summarize in one word: it's fear. Fear of the situation, fear of going out, fear of the others, what they could think, and so on. Reducing the fear, that is the most powerful part, is I think an important step. And indeed the evidence of today is that despite my physical condition are much worse than in the past, some years ago, I'm now doing things that I never did, I never wanted to do, even if when my physical condition was much better than now. And this is really surprising me a lot, because it's a nonsense, it's not a logic. Now that I'm worse, I'm doing more than when I was much better. Another achievement, nice thing in the last month was from the physical point of view, but it's linked to the psychological part. Normally at the end of the day, late evening or in the night, I'm with very low energy, so really weak, and I have a home stairs in my house that is quite tough to do. It's a kind of a challenge every time. Couple of times I was able to did also at night, clearly with some efforts, but it's a kind very unusual things, just to go upstairs and to spend some time with my children when they go to bed. So this was wonderful for me, wonderful for them, and a big achievement. So simply the wish to go upstairs, and all these facts together are, as I said before, quite surprising me. So about this evolution and let's say I feel positive. So these are positive feedback that helps a lot, and I hope this will continue also in the future.